Please welcome Secretary General of D8, Organization for Economic Cooperation, His Excellency Mr. Jaafar Shaari.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Good morning dan selamat pagi. Before I begin my speech, allow me to convey my sincerest condolences to the people of the Republic of Indonesia on the very sad and unfortunate plane crash that claimed the life of 189 people. I would like to share our heartiest sympathies with those who have lost their beloved ones and express that we stand in solidarity with the people of Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed participants, I would like to say that it is a distinctive privilege and singular honor for me to be given the opportunity to address this prestigious conference. I would like to thank the Republic of Indonesia and the Indonesian Agency for Creative Economy, BACRAF, for bringing such an important issue to the attention of our organization. As the biggest economy and one of the fastest growing markets among D8 member states, we appreciate Indonesia's leading role in holding the first ever World Conference on Creative Economy, giving us the unique opportunity to connect with and learn from the world-famous innovators, builders, and creators representing different social, cultural, business, and technology sectors. It is my firm belief that through our deliberation, with the valuable contributions of all the speakers, we will open up new avenues of discussion to uncover the creative potential of the developing world and build a new environment for the young, bright, and dynamic individuals of our countries. D8 is an economic organization founded in 1997 by 8 developing countries, namely Bangladesh, Egypt, Indonesia, Iran, Malaysia, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Turkey. The aim of our organization is to increase economic cooperation among our member states to boost economic growth, sustain development, and promote the well-being of our citizens. In doing so, we have focused our attention in 6 priority areas, namely agriculture, trade, transportation, industry, energy, and tourism. Through the 20 years of its existence, D8 has been successful in building bridges through know-how sharing in these 6 priorities. That being said, moving towards the second phase of the life cycle of our organization and observing the massive changes brought forth by the digital revolutions of 21st century, we are realizing the importance of one element in particular, namely the human capital and its potential to transform our economies. The 8 countries in total account for almost $4 trillion of GDP and $1.5 trillion of export and $100 billion of intra-trade. But the real novelty of the 8 is that it is home to 1.1 billion people, meaning 1 in every 7 people in the world is living in the 8. And this 1.1 billion comes with remarkable ethnic and cultural diversity. Creative economies are the key to convert this massive demographic power to economic growth, employment, and opportunity for the future generations. Before I elaborate on the current endeavors of our organization, allow me to remind you that the 8 member states are predicated on the biggest civilizations, and they are home to some of the most remarkable achievements of human history. From the oldest university of the ancient world, located in Urfa, Turkey, to the magnificent library of Alexandria in Egypt, from the 600 years old ancient bazaar of Tabriz in Iran, to the historic trade and cultural exchange centers of Malacca and Georgetown in Malaysia, from the earliest examples of indigenous architecture and flourishing iron industry in Sukur, Nigeria, to the egalitarian farming practices of the Subak system in Bali, Indonesia, from the best example of Islamic architecture in the mosque city of Baghahat in Bangladesh, to the exceptional examples of Muslim military architecture in Rohtas Fort in Pakistan, the 8 member states have a deep-rooted history interwoven with tradition, culture, creativity, and human achievement. Therefore, we as the 8 member states do not need to seek out creativity, but to build up an inclusive environment so that creativity manifests itself. In order to achieve that, we as policymakers need to come up with smart and well-aimed solutions to uncover the true potential of our human capital. As you know, the old way of doing business was to rely on massive capital investment and aim at specific sectors, an approach proven obsolete in the face of digital revolution. The new way is to aim for the innovative mindset from whatever background it is coming from and creating the maximum impact with optimal funding. As D8, we are very much eager to support this new approach by all financial and institutional means available to us. At this point, allow me to elaborate on some of the successful initiatives D8 has embarked upon. In 2017, we have signed an MOU with the Islamic Development Bank, IDB, a scheme that has granted us access to one of the world's leading financial resources. The MOU envisages cooperation in areas of implementations of joint projects and SME finance, as well as allocations of scholarships through IDB scholarship program and exchange of knowledge and information. We are also actively encouraging our member states to utilize the science and innovation platform of IDB, namely Engage and Transform Network. Engage is a digital hub which aims at accelerating economic and social progress in the developing world through the power of science, technology, and innovation. Engage offers 3 main services: matchmaking, technology transfer, and call for innovation. Through Engage, innovators, SMEs, private sector, NGOs, companies, and government will benefit from tailored mentoring services. Transform Fund is a new multi-billion-dollar fund that will bring about meaningful change of millions of people by giving every scientist, technologist, and innovator the opportunity to make a difference to the world around them. Linked to the Engage Hub, Transform aims at turning innovative ideas into real development solutions and provide seed money for innovators, startups, and SMEs. Another funding mechanism initiated by the D8 Secretariat is the D8 Project Support Fund. The fund aims at financing pre-feasibility and feasibility studies of projects that bear significance for the economic and social endeavors of our organization. As the D8 Secretariat, we have initiated talks with the UN agencies such as FAO and UNCTAD to make best use of the fund as a leverage for the agriculture and trade projects. We are also accepting project proposals from the bright entrepreneurs of our member states. Apart from the funding schemes, we are working relentlessly to strengthen the intellectual and scientific infrastructure of the D8 member states. At this point, allow me to highlight the novel initiative of D8 Network of Pioneers for Research and Innovation, or D8 NPRI. The purpose of the network is to connect leading universities of D8, use the current available expertise, and synergize them to gain maximum benefits that shall be useful to all. D8 NPRI shall be the nursery for the research and innovation to cater for the needs of our growing industries. Complementary to D8 NPRI, we are on the verge of establishing the D8 International University in Hamadan, Iran. The university will admit graduate and postgraduate students from D8 member states and provide us with the much-needed technical and scientific impetus. Our vision is not confined by any means, and we use the power vested in us to cater for the needs of our member state as to untap the true creative potential of our citizens. In this regard, we are initiating talks with development agencies to delve into the possibilities of extending microfinance to young entrepreneurs, as well as the economically disadvantaged groups in our countries. Together with relevant stakeholders, we are further exploring the potential of blockchain technologies and how D8 can benefit from the expertise accruing from these new schemes. We are assessing alternative methods of SME finance in our countries, including the highly effective method of crowdfunding, and exploring ways to initiate know-how and best practice sharing among the member states. As I said, we are not confined by any means but our imagination. To give you a very solid example of how D8 approaches new projects, I would like to present you the D8 payment card project developed by a Malaysian fintech company, Comaps. The card aims at enabling member states to use their local currency in trade and provide a new ecosystem that will enable us to reduce the dominance of foreign currencies, especially in foreign payment and settlement. This will be the beginning of a new financial system that will enable us to use the currency of our choice to settle out financial transactions. I want to bring one issue to your kind attention. Comaps approach D8 and not the other way around. That means we did not seek for creativity, but provided the necessary means for the revelations of creative mindset. I encourage all entrepreneurs and bright minds in our member state to take this as an example of D8's inclusive approach to creativity. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed participants, prominent international organizations have differing views about the future of the global economy. Some predicting a leap for the developing nations, and some maintaining their reservation. However unpredictable the future may be, determination and ambition always give one a head start, especially in economic affairs. With this in mind, D8 has formulated the decennial roadmap 2020 to 2030, in line with the lofty targets set by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. In this pivotal roadmap, among many things, we reiterate our commitment to promote and enhance the contributions of private sector, in particular SMEs and entrepreneurs, who are the actual creators of innovation. I hereby encourage the Government of Republic Indonesia, being our important member of D8, who is a leading country in these fields, to endorse the inclusions of creative economies to the roadmap in order to tailor our focus on this highly promising area. I would like to excite you that D8 member states will be in the list of the world's top 24 economies in 2050. And we all together will be the world's third biggest economic power, with a combined GDP of US $38 trillion. However, this is no gainsaying that this is impossible without the timely and effective support extended to the creative individuals and creative economies in our countries. I am hopeful that this conference will mark the adoption of a new and fresh viewpoint for our member state and developing world as a whole. I thank you very much for your attention. Terima kasih.